Good evening, ladies, gentlefers, and my lovely NBs. We are here live in Winnipeg at Riverside Arena as we get to feature Game 5 of the FBA Finals. My name is Marcus Baylor, and to my right is Ryan Eastman. How are you doing, my guy?
I'm doing great. We are back here in Winnipeg. We are potentially facing an end of the series here tonight in front of the Winnipeg Voyagers fans. I'm sure they are very excited to have seen how the series turned around on the away stretch.
Yeah, what a turnaround for Winnipeg. Just finding a way to just take not one game, but both games on the road. That is absolutely unheard of. And now they have a nice cushion and could possibly seal the deal here at game 5 to a very wild home crowd here in Winnipeg.
Well, not just the fact that they won, but the fashion that they won that last game. And I mean,
Oh my
Eves,
gosh.
absolute hero moment as just threes raining in. We were counting them out. We were already saying it's going to be a 2-2 back into regular home court advantage for the Voyagers, but uh, the Fox just absolutely caught fire going against everything. Global warming finally hit the Arctic. He thawed out and absolutely lit up the court. And I have to be afraid for the Albany Alphas here. I mean, this is talk about having the momentum all against you right now. You've just given up 3 games in a row after winning game 1 and collapsing in game 4. How do you respond in game 5?
I mean, in all honesty, you just have to kind of treat it as a game one scenario for every single game from here on out. Cause like, yeah, this is a do or die game, but you don't want to try and be very flustered coming into this. You have to pretty much just say that, hey, we need to do everything we can to make sure to quiet down this crowd. That's the biggest thing that's going to be because always you can hear the crowd just like screaming in the background as we talk here. It's kind of hard to hear at the moment, but it's just finding a way to really calm down this riled up crowd who's ready to see their team win their first championship in quite a bit actually.
First ever.
So yeah, their first yeah, the first in franchise history. So that's going to be really, really big. You know, all eyes are going to be on Winnipeg because the pressure is going to be on them to finish the job as they have been going all out this series. But I think Albany has a shot to try and take one here, but they got to do everything in the power to bring back to Albany.
Yeah, and the momentum is a double-edged sword because you're looking at it as the Winnipeg Voyagers. They are 1 game away. Now the pressure, this is a different kind of pressure. There's one kind of pressure being about to be eliminated. There's another one to be so close to the end, so close to the finish line. And if you start stumbling as the finish line approaches, that can almost be worse than stumbling at the start. So they have to be careful here tonight. They can't just coast off the momentum because the momentum could drive them off a cliff if they aren't careful with how they steer themselves here through this game.
Yeah, you're right on that. And as of course, as you say that, we're starting to see all the players getting ready to go ahead and get the game started now. We've seen the quick starting lineups for both of these teams. Very exciting time here in Winnipeg. As I said before, the crowd's going absolutely insane here as we get things started as Albany once again wins the tip.
Yeah, but that has been the least indicative variable for whether or not they win the game. It's proven. They've
Yeah,
yet to
for
lose
sure.
one.
Yeah, and right now we get to see another quick block here on, I believe that was Narcissa.
Yep, I
So
think
that's still
Coquinos
continuing
got
on.
it.
Yep, and Winnipeg gets to answer back. So a great first start there for Winnipeg, getting a quick block and getting a quick 2 points. And this crowd is not quieting down at all. As Yona passes it to Watterson, who goes over to O2. I'm hoping for a big game from him because he got to put this team on the back in some shape or form.
Yeah, you would have to hope the MVP steps up here as he is going to shoot off a 3 early, and there we
Ooh,
go from the big dog, getting the first
that is
basket for Albany.
that's what I like to see right there, taking the early lead as they're up by one, 3-2, with that shot as now Baltev trying to find a way to get into the paint, but ends up losing the ball. Good hands there by Kivar. as that we get a quick easy 2 as now Albany getting the early lead. So even with the failed first possession, they are able to go ahead and get their offense flowing in the early going.
And I think that's where they need to use Narcissa more. They haven't really done well on fast break opportunities, and I feel like that's put Narcissa in a worse position, having to deal with difficult defense. But if they want to pick up the pace with her, I do think that's going to give her a few more open shots as she misses a 3 there in transition.
Yep. So right now the score is still 5-2. Winnipeg has the ball as Baltev had a look of an open lane, but instead tries to hesitate before going down, but it's not going to be good. Terry O'Toole with the rebound. And now Cassius. Of course, the defense has really locked her up the entirety of this series. And she does get the screen, going for that quick 3, and it hits the side of the... So once again, another slow start for her. As we get a nice dish into the paint for Winnipeg as they cut the deficit down to 1.
But I'm liking what I'm seeing from the Alphas. You saw there Terry also taking the 3 off the screen. Narcissa doing the same sort of play. I like them generating the more space that produces the chance of a block coming in as Kivar answers back with a mid-ranger of his own.
Yeah, and that's pretty much the biggest thing is just trying to find a way to get those open looks. Give what the defense gives you. As now Francois hands it back over to another player, hands it over to Baltov. Baltov going for a mid-ranger of his own, and he rattles it home.
Well, and that's the point. If they're going to play you so tightly man-to-man, a screen is your best friend. They have very little chance of dodging such a with so little space. And, I mean, that just needs to be the the adjustments that Winnipeg has made, hopefully, or Albany has made, hopefully, against Winnipeg's defense.
Yeah, Watterson losing the ball over to Martineau as he tries to drive into the paint. So now Winnipeg has a chance to take the lead. Martineau hands it over to Malka. That's not really his strong suit, so I'm sure he's going to give it up, but he does so there. As Baltov goes for a tough jumper, but he's able to get it anyway, and they take the lead. It's now 8-7 going to the Voyager side.
Well, that's proven to be a bit of a hot spot for him. That's 2 in a row from that same position, but look at how open Vastenhout was there, stepping in. But the defense collapses on him again. Eves, great help defense. Even if it did leave Terry open, Vassarton has to keep an eye out and go for the open fur in those spots.
Yeah, right now Carbonu going into the paint. Really tough there, but he's able to get it down. And so far, the paint has really been the theme of both of these squads.
Well,
as they've been able...
I'll say Terry has scored almost half the points for Albany, and it came from 3.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But now Cassius. Getting the quick screen. Been switched, trying to use her speed to get in, and she does get the finger roll. And now they are down by 1.
Well, we can talk a little bit about the Albany Alphas. Kind of the surprise performer so far this series has been Watterson, in fact. I mean, has been an absolute tear on defense. We might be seeing a future defensive player of the year if he manages to play next season like he has this finals.
Yeah, that's really been the main focal point for Albany is being able to rely on the paint, and it's because of the young fur and Watterson. As Yona hands it over to O'Toole, passes it up to Cassius, goes for a 3, and it's hits the side of the rim. So still pretty cold beyond the arc for Cassius, as she's 2 for 6 so far in the game tonight. And now we can see a quick, tough pass over for Winnipeg as Kevin hands it over to Martin once again. Martin is trying to find some kind of opening as Carbonu goes for a long 2, and it's no good. Some great defense there for Albany for that possession. Now Cassius possibly looking for a screen, but instead hands it over to Watterson. And that's really been the big battle in this series, but instead dishes back out to Cassius. Gets the quick screen, gets the switch, but it's to no avail as Coquinos does get the rebound.
Yeah, she's definitely fighting her way into the post, and at least only has been blocked once tonight. So she's getting her shots up. It's just finding a good balance. Is Baltave. That's his 6th point so far. That's half of the Winnipeg's offense coming through him.
Yeah, the Birds doing a really, really good job finding the taking advantage of those open looks, and he's really serving his team well as they're up by 3. But Cassie is looking to tie this game right back up, and she does just that. And
She,
that could be the 3 there to really kind of get her cooking.
I was going to say, she could not have been more open. Like, the only way is if all the teams just sat down. She had all the room in the world to take that shot, plenty of time to set up, and thankfully hit it as Kokinos the Dragon going to put up another 2 just to get the crowd back into it.
Yeah, right now Kivar probably trying to answer back, and he does do that and 1. So they get to go on the line for 1 more for what I like to call the old school 3-point play.
I was waiting for it. Fans, please do not make that into a drinking game.
Well, Kivar is able to do just that, and now Albany does have the lead as they're up by 1. So a very close game here. We get late in the first quarter with about 5 minutes left of the game, as we get a nice, easy layup for Winnipeg as they take the lead once again. So kind of been very similar to a lot of the games so far, as it's been a back and forth matchup.
Yeah, I mean, obviously no team blew one out. I mean, we saw that early in the series, you know, Albany having a massively great start. But now we have the bench on the floor mixed in with some of the starters, see how they do. And which of the 2 benches would you lean towards performance-wise so far this series?
Honestly, I'll probably have to go for a little bit of Winnipeg here because of the fact that they've been doing so well. We get a nice mid-ranger there from Eve. But yeah, it's just like Winnipeg has been doing a very excellent job in trying to keep their distance when Albany does come up. There are times where the second unit for Albany does pretty good, but I think you have to do it for one particular player as they get a nice 2-pointer as they go down to 1. And that'd be Loomis. Loomis has been really the answer for them coming off the bench.
Yeah, I mean, Loomis, biggest scoring threat so far this series from Albany is, the double clutch doesn't work out for Eves. I mean, Oscar had his moments. Jackie had hers. And Trishawn. I mean, I feel like all of them have had scoring moments. They just haven't been able to make it up for the rest of the team. I'd actually lean towards Albany. Their bench seems to have been more offensively inclined, even though Timmins has had some showy moments. Is Josiah trying to lay it up and in, no good.
Yeah, I mean, I think both of the second units for both squads have been very, very excellent and really keep this game more interesting as Kivar is able to dunk it down as they take the lead once again, back up by 1, 19-18, which is about 3 minutes left in the first quarter.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be a very back and forth game until one of these teams gets on a run that the other just can't answer. And that's the biggest problem is that we watched a couple teams go down by a fair bit. And we saw Winnipeg. We thought they were out of it last game, and then they just went on a massive run that really seemed to come out of nowhere and took the game away from them. And you have to keep an eye on both teams. I think both teams have offensive players that have that potential just to suddenly go off.
Yeah, right now Kivar going for a fadeaway, but it hits the side of the rim, so no good. Now Lynn trying to find their way into the paint, but he may have to dish it back up. But nope, goes for that quick layup, and it's good.
Yeah, that's Lynn's second basket so far. Now, and you see there, Winnipeg a bit better on the field goal side, but again, they got to the free throw line, and Albany's had 3-pointers, so it's been a little bit to their benefit. Lemon, no good there.
Yeah, so far, I would say that this is another pretty gritty defensive effort from both teams. They're making each basket very tough, no matter who's on the offensive side. So now Eli hands it over to Ide. Ide got the quick screen. Going over for a quick 10-footer, and it's good.
Yeah, well, we haven't had a block fest yet tonight. I think we've only had 2 blocks maybe come out so far. So I wouldn't say necessarily the strongest defensive showing is, uncharacteristic mistake by Vastenhout there as he slipped.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised he didn't go ahead and try and go for a 3 at that point. I know there was a lot of space for him to make a drive, but you really underestimate how quickly that can.
Yeah, and I feel like, I mean, Vastenhout can take the threes. It just doesn't feel like he's always the most comfortable putting one up when he has that opportunity to drive. And I mean, I'm gonna say it comes down to a little bit of you have Terry O'Toole and Narcissa. Uh, your 3-point shooting is very sporadically required, so definitely not an area of the game that he probably practices on a day-to-day basis. Is the veteran
Ooh.
Timmons drives it in himself, and this is the biggest lead of the game since early in this first quarter.
Yeah, very excellent game there for Timmons. Really trying to make sure to extend this lead, and the crowd is once again getting pretty wild here as they yell for defense. Carnell almost loses the ball, but he is able to gain control once again and tries to drive it up on himself, and he does make something out of nothing there, as now they cut the deficit down to 3.
Yeah, I'm surprised the GOAT managed to keep the ball. He pretty much did a spin dancing around the ball trying to corral it there. No jump ball, though, in the end. And Timmons, pulling it down but not able to make it work.
Yeah, it looks like Albany is underestimating Timmons' speed. He may have been here for a very long time in this league, but Hunt, no good there. And Timmons gets the rebound.
Yeah, that's a hard battle against Hunt there down low in the post, but that's why the benefit of over the back exists, because if Hunt needed to, he could have just knocked the pronghorn over to get that ball, but he would have been called for the foul.
And he's able to get the screen to get the switch, but it's a very tough one, and it's not going to be good there. Really good defense there by Rethal. Now Cornell. Handing it over to Lemon. Lemon probably take the final shot. He goes for a tough 3, and it's in and out of the rim. So Winnipeg does lead by 1 possession, 24-21, as we head into the second quarter.
Yeah, I wish she had maybe taken a little bit more time to pass the ball there. I mean, it was kind of obvious with her just dribbling at the top of the hoop that she was going, or the top of the 3-point arc, that she was going to take that shot. So no surprise on the defense's part.
Yeah, now Winnipeg is able to go ahead and start this quarter off. There's now Timmons. Got the double screen going. Got the switch. Got it by his defender, and it is no good. Like, Timmons can make those shots really easy, but it's just not coming down 100% of the time.
Yeah, he's struggling a bit in the post, and I do think the defense is, like you said, double team, keeping on him. And, ooh, Loomis going to get called for the travel violation. They're pivoting a little too much.
And just a swarm of the players in the white jerseys just probably been a little bit too much. Got them flustered. Very costly turn. Well, not costly, but not the turnover you want to see in a game in this caliber. And we'll see if Winnipeg try to take advantage of this. And a lot of passing here on Winnipeg as Caliber now has the ball. Trying to find some kind of opening, and he does get it down with that 50.
Yeah, good shot coming out from the Shepherd, and they go back to the biggest lead from Winnipeg, 5 points. But Albany has always answered back when they let this lead build up slowly. Even though blocked.
Ooh, great block there by Lynn, and even just Jesus flat out took it out of the air as Lynn probably going coast to coast, but instead passes it over to, and it's out of bounds there. So not a good turnover again for Demi. Goodness gracious, I'm gonna try not to say his first name, his last name, because that's a lot to say.
Spodenuk.
Yeah, Spodenuk, I guess. You can call him Spod. Right now, Carnell trying to go for the mid-range, but it gets blocked. And we're now starting to see a little bit of a block party going. A little bit late than usual, but Caliber goes for a long 2, and it rattles in.
Yeah, and that's just great transition play there. I mean, you saw the player crashing the board, causing the defender have to guard them. Just left Caliber wide open for a 2.
Yeah, now the crowd's getting real loud as Loomis trying to make some noise, but it hits the side of the rim. So now Winnipeg has a chance to extend the lead even more so. And this is not the spot you want to be in if you're Albany, trying to take this back over to your home court. But they were able to get a quick turnover to try and calm things down a little bit.
Yeah, even though the crowd, as you can tell, they have their chants going. Defense they are calling for, even though Jackie will lay it up and in. Sorry, not Jackie. That was Carnell.
And right now, they have to find a way to get these next couple of stops so they can probably get back into the game. Really trying to silence the crowd a little bit is Martinu. Hands it over to Ryukov. Now hands over to Kevin. Kevin's got all the time in the world to lay it in, and he does had the size difference and all to be able to get that basket down.
And if you're Albany, honestly, you want to go into this. We still have 9 minutes to go, but you do not want to go into this half down by 10. You can't afford to be down by any significant margin, because again, their playoff championship hopes are on the edge of the cliff here, and you don't want even a little bit of momentum to tip in Albany's way to finish out this, or Winnipeg's way to finish out this game, as now they're getting dangerously close to a double-digit lead.
Yeah, really good mid-ranger by Spot is now the deficit is at 9. Albany's trying to find some kind of answer, and they do just that.
And Carnell laying it up and in again, but how many players' nicknames have come just because we can't say their name?
Probably too many to count. Just keeping it real. But yeah, here comes Malka trying to go for the layup, and it is once again good. And so far, Kevin's starting to heat up a little bit as they're relying on him to do what he can do on the paint. And we get our first timeout for the game on the Albany side of things. We'll see what they can come up with as they try to figure out how to cut this deficit down.
Yeah, I have a feeling they're looking to bring in some starters, and they just hadn't had a dead ball situation to be able to do so, because obviously being down by 9, the Winnipeg Voyageurs bench has, as shown by that graphic, outscored them. The Albany's bench, and actually, no, they don't really want to bring in too many starters. They're going to let Trishawn drive and get blocked.
Yeah, not a good effort there. Getting pretty much double team, essentially. They really kind of give it up as Coquinos is able to get the and one opportunity.
I wouldn't be surprised if Albany calls another timeout after this.
Yeah, for sure. They could sub in more people here at this one. Coquinos is able to get the old school 3-point play.
I mean, they brought Watterson back out, so that's a change.
Yeah, now Albany is down by 12. This is the biggest lead of the game so far. We'll see if they're able to try and dig themselves out of this hole as we try to get down to the 7:30 mark for this half. And they are going to be able to do just that with Ishijima.
Well, Ishijima passing down low to Carnell. Trishawn coming off the bench, doing very well tonight so far.
Yeah, right now we're going to see another battle between two bigs, but this time Watterson is able to do very well against Coquinos, because that's been really the main battle within this series. We get a nice dish to Ishijima, but it gets blocked.
I think he just hit the back of the iron there.
Yeah, right now Winnipeg's starting to pick things up a little bit as they are able to get the quick 2. And that's a great a great showing there for Winnipeg, as they were able to get the nice defensive stop there from a great dish. And able to answer right back, and Albany is able to get the quick layup too.
I think Narkissa just knocked a dragon over. I think he was trying to go for the charge, but the refs weren't buying it.
I feel like that they can tell that was a flop. Let's just keep it real.
What, you're telling me that the lemur can't slay a dragon?
Not with their body, no.
Okay, but her glare can slay him.
Yeah, for sure. I can probably see that as get another missed opportunity there for Albany to try to cut this stuff down back to 10. But we get to see a quick dish over to Malka.
It was actually a block there.
And Malka is able to lay it up and extend the lead once again back up to 14. This is starting to not look that good here.
I'd say that that pass was actually a really well done block. Just happened to go right into Malka's paws, almost like it was intended to, and he just smooth as butter finished it. And like I said, Albany starting to come in some trouble here. Down by 14. They need answers. Narciso, the teardrop is one way to do that.
Yeah, being able to try and find some kind of open lane, as we see that 8 of her 11 points have been in the paint, and she may probably find her offensive footing a little bit, but she's going to have to do that more consistently to try and get them back into this one. Kokinos really trying to find his way into the paint and getting that layup against Watterson. And those two pretty much just showing as chippy can get.
Yeah, and again, you keep... Oh, another player knocked down the puff-in, but no foul called is Carnell. That's his 10th point coming off the bench. Great game tonight for him. He's been the only production off the bench, really, for the Alphas.
Yeah, Carnell really just being a huge answer for Albany, trying to see if they can get this to a more manageable deficit as Malka is able to lay it up and in.
I mean, we're almost about to break the 50-point mark, and we still have 4.5 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Winnipeg has definitely been on fire as Carnell, feeling it, steps back for the three behind the screen.
Carnell really being the main focal point for Albany right now coming off the bench, as he has just been on fire. They have not been able to find a way to contain him, but we'll see what they can do on the defensive end as Kokinos trying to go for a fadeaway, but it is no good. Well defended by Watterson again as he gets the rebound.
I think the GOAT heard you talk about the Voyagers thinking they're the better bench, and he's proving you wrong at the moment, at least in terms of just isolating him.
Yeah, for sure. Carnell has been a really big help, and right now Cassius she does best as she's able to lay it up and in. No, even though the field goal business isn't been that great, as we get a quick timeout by the Voyagers, we are seeing her starting to wake up a little bit as the game goes on.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is she's not getting blocked. She's definitely taking a little bit more difficult shots. You see there, she's taking hook shots, teardrops, the higher arcing ball. She's not going straight to the basket. So she's able to make up for that height difference. But again, they're back within 10 points now. That's definitely why the Voyagers just call timeout, because they can't afford to let Albany start to find their rhythm here. So they want to make an adjustment, and we'll see what this adjustment is.
Yeah, and right now we get to see some of the second unit back on the court as Lynn tries to lay it up, and it is no good. A quick rebound there for Albany as they can have a chance to cut the deficit even more to 7 as O'Toole hands it over to Johansson. Johansson going up, and it's good.
And they're going to let Watterson get a little bit of a break and bring the other big dog out, the St. Bernard Oscar. Nice little pump fake there, just laying it up and in around the defender.
Yeah, right now Albany is slowly calling back. Tim is finding his way into the paint. Really good off-ball movement from him. And they got the deficit back up to 9. Now Albany is trying to see if they can find a way to get back into the paint one more time, but we got a traveling violation.
The second one for Winnipeg, in fact.
Yeah, and a very unforced error there for the Alphas. Not something you want to see, especially when you're trying to find a way to make this more manageable than what it is right now. So Winnipeg has an opportunity to extend the lead again as Eli goes for a quick fadeaway, and he makes it look way too easy.
Yeah, you can't blink against the Albany Alphas. Their scoring potential is just too insane. And you see the defense has been smothering them, generating turnovers with either blocks or traveling violations here tonight. But Winnipeg is stepping it up. I would not normally rate them as a high offensive team, but they are showing it here tonight.
Yeah, right now, we got a quick, huge dunk there by Yona. Try to quiet this crowd down just a little bit so that we can get that spark the team need for Albany.
Like I said, they're trying to shut down the sixth man, and that fancy dribble move to get by the defender and dunk it down. You were getting on him about not taking the three earlier, but I think that would be the better option if he can get a path to the basket.
Yeah, for sure. You got Lemon getting a quick screen, having that quick mid-range, and it's good from 20 feet.
And there we go, so 7 points.
Yeah, that's kind of been how close Albany has gotten before Winnipeg finds a way wake up, but this is the moment for them to really stop. And they do just that as Lemon intercepts the pass. Not a really good pass into the. And right now they have a chance to cut the deficit down even more. Crowds yelling defense though as Kivar hands it up, and we get a quick mid-ranger from Terry, the MVP, doing what he does best.
And again, he is stepping up here a bit tonight. Have to see if he can continue this pace. We'll check out his stats in less than a minute. Albany looking to close the gap. They are within that 10 points I was talking about, but they can't keep letting Timmons be that open.
Yeah, Timmons once again showing his speed and ferocity. He's able to go into the paint with ease with that drive as he lays it up.
And that's just veteran play there. You saw him use his own opponent's center as a screen. His defender was not able to get around the center, and it gave him an opportunity just to drive the basket. Now he's going to strip the ball from Kivar. Oh, yep. This is a terrible way to end the quarter.
Yep, and I tried to lay it up, but it's no good. Oh, that would have been such a heartless way to go ahead and get down. But Albany is able to get the teardrop as they now cut the deficit down back to 5. Things are picking up as the final seconds of the first half is really winding down. And right now, Winnipeg trying to go for a tough mid-ranger, and it is good. Now Albany going to take the first shot from Lemon, and it is no good. Hits the front of the rim, and we are going to end the first half with Winnipeg up by 7. Oh my goodness, what a crazy way to end this half.
Yeah, we were about to expect Albany to get it back within a basket or two, and then a couple turnovers and bad plays could have gone 10 points the other way, but thankfully the defense wins out, and they keep it at 7. Not the best differential you want to see if you're an Albany Owls fan going into the final half of potentially the 2021-2022 season, but better than what they were down by at one point. I believe 12 was the biggest lead, or 12 or 14 was the biggest deficit for them. As we'll dive into the stats now, and both teams, I believe, have been really spreading the ball out tonight, and a few of their bench players have stepped it up as well. As we go ahead and look at the Voyagers, Carbonu, 4 points, 2 rebounds, and an assist. Malka doing one of everything. Perfect from the floor with 8 points, a block, a steal, some rebounds, and assists. Francois dishing the ball around well with 4 assists already, making his 1 shot attempt. The Big Dragon, 11 points, 3 rebounds, 2 blocks, getting it done on defense. Baltave, 8 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. Timmons also with 6 points, 1 rebound, an assist, and a steal. Lynn, 2 points, 1 rebound, assist, and a block. Josiah Ide, 3 for 8, 6 points total. Caliber, 4 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Just a high field goal percentage across the board for Winnipeg. Eli, 2 points, 3 rebounds. Yugori, 6 minutes on the floor, has pulled down 2 balls but not taken a shot yet. Demi, 2 points, 1 assist. And then jumping on over to Albany. And again, a bit spread out. Terry O'Toole, perfect from the floor so far. 7 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal. Kivar, 7 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists. Bastenhoot, 4 points, 2 assists. But 2 turnovers. He's going to have to get off of that in the second half. He can't afford to be turning over free possessions in this situation. Narcissa, 6 for 12 from the field, 13 points total. Her arguably best showing thus far in the series. 1 assist, but Watterson has been quiet. Normally a little bit more active on the offensive side. Has only put up 4 rebounds, but there he is. Trishawn Carnell, 13 points coming off the bench, 6 for 8. The GOAT is getting it done and keeping Albany close. Hunt, 1 rebound, 1 steal, and 1 block. Ishijima, only a missed shot in his 9 minutes. Oscar, 2 points in his 9 minutes. Lemon, 2 points, 1 for 5. Struggling a little bit, but did generate a turnover with a great cutoff pass, generating a steal. Rethel, 2 rebounds. Loomis has not had much time on the floor and has struggled with 2 failed shots and a turnover, so it's really been Carnell stepping up for the Albany Alphas bench.
Yeah, I mean, really, Carnell has been a really good job. But Coquinos is the end one, just starting off the second half. That's a good way to continue the hype the crowd right now. They are able to complete the old school 3-point play. So now they're up by 10 once again. Not what you want to see if you're an Alpha fan.
Yeah, I mean, they clearly had a quick game plan set up to do a very quick play down low to try and get the game going back in
Yeah, right
their
now,
favor.
yeah, right now, Albany has to do something with the rock, and he's not able to get it down. But Watson gets the rebound and lays it up and in. Very good cleanup there for the young Otter.
And his first basket tonight. I mean, again, I was very surprised he was so quiet in the first half.
Yeah, and now Winnipeg not able to get that basket down, as Albany could probably try and clean things up a little bit, as O'Toole going for the mid-range, no good. And Malka does get the rebound. Right now, Coquinos getting a nice dish to Carbonu, and he lays it up and in. So right now, Winnipeg's doing a really good job in trying to keep it up by 10.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for them if they cannot get anything going again. There's lots of time to make up this gap, but every minute that ticks by and it doesn't shrink, it's going to be tougher and tougher to close out this game with a win. And
Ooh.
Okay, that's actually interesting. So the foul was after this ball was shot, so the bucket will count, but Albany does get called for the foul.
Very interesting, but they are able to cut it down to 8, because it wasn't a 3-point shot, it was only a 2-point. So right now, Albany could have the chance to cut the deficit down a little bit if they get a stop here, but they haven't done a very good job in doing so far. As Eve's able to try to go right by his opponent for a popping opportunity, but it's no good.
And Watterson has to be careful down low in the post like that. Oh, it was a block against Narcissa. That says second foul so far, and if this was in the first quarter, I'd be concerned, but the fact that he's racked up 2 in only 2 minutes does not bode well if he keeps at that pace, so he has to be careful, as Coquinos is going to put up a basket.
Yeah, and that's something. We haven't really seen a lot of fouls happen in the game so far, and seeing how quickly those fouls really came about in these first few minutes really can show that this could be getting scrappier as this game goes on, as Cassius gets the nice screen, going for that long 2, but hits the side of the rim.
Well, I mean, to be fair to Albany, they are potentially about to be eliminated. There's not much more they could do. But that's actually going to be against Martineau. Okay, the refs' whistles are coming in now, and that wasn't a charge, but he did try to bowl her over, so that is why he got called for the foul. He initiated the contact, not her.
Yeah, right now, Yona trying to go for the quick layup, but it's no good, so he'll go on the line for 2. So now we're starting to really see the charity strike come into play early on in the second half as one goes down. And Yona is able to get the second one. So if these fouls keep coming up, we might be in the bonus before this quarter reaches the halfway point.
I mean, you're not wrong. And the fouls have been unique fouls too. I mean, we normally don't have a over the back call followed by essentially a charge called against the other team. As air ball by Eves there.
Yeah, really tough defense there for Albany, as Eve was not able to find any kind of rim whatsoever. And we'll see if Albany's able to try and answer back, but they're not going to do it there, as Balto was able to get the quick stop.
Yeah, that was Eves just trying to make an adjustment last second, turned a normal shot to a teardrop and didn't put enough gas behind it, but there he's able to answer. And him and Terry have been pretty consistent this game, 1-for-1 against each other. See if either of them are able to step up before this game ends. And Bassett going for a 3, no good.
Yeah, Yona hitting the front of the rim this time, so Winnipeg has a chance to expand this lead, get a nice passing going on for Winnipeg. As Baltov does get the screen. probably get the switch that he needs. Instead, hands it over to Coquino. Coquino's got that body advantage, but instead hands it over to Carbonu. Lots of passing as Martin goes for a long two, and it is. Now Albany trying to look for something as it gets a quick screen, and they're not able to get the answer to try to cut it into single digits as Martin goes for three, but instead it gets a quick tip in, and it's good. Very good putback for Coquinos.
I mean, yeah, he was 5 feet from the basket and just tapped it back in instead of. Normally a player would just pull it down in that situation. You usually don't see tap backs unless it's a very close to the basket, but the Dragon feeling comfortable enough to take a shot from that far out, and Albany not able to answer back, and you have to start worrying. Time is ticking, and Carbonu, oh, if he had made that, I think the fans would have gone wild.
Yeah, for sure. And they are up by 12, and they could pretty much. Albany needs some kind of momentum to go their way back into this game. As right now, Yona is able to get it down. Really great dish as they do cut the deficit down back to 10.
Well, that's just all the running from Yona. You saw him circling there, trying to get as much interference on his man as possible. And oh, Cassius with the tip. Carbonu no pulls it back up, and you have to worry that, I mean, obviously this is the do or die game for them. They can't afford to leave anything on the court, so they're going all out. And Vassenhout over to Terry for three. There we go, Albany.
What a great defensive stop to a quick transition for a very smooth three. That's what you want to see from Albany, and that's really what they thrive in the best. And right now we get to see a quick shot from Eve, and it's no good as Watterson does get the rebound.
Well, again, that transition play, you know, Vassenhout to the left, Terry to the right, one defender. Who's he going to guard? He just has to stand in the middle and hope.
Here comes Terry trying to go for the quick layup, and it is good. Terry's starting to cook right on up. The reigning MVP already doing some very good things with 12 points within the 20 minutes he has.
Yeah, he's been quiet this series, but he's stepping up here in their do or die moment, which, I mean, I'm not going to fault him. He's having a good game tonight.
Yeah, right now, Martin, who's trying to go ahead and give some noise as Coquinos got the opening that he needs to lay it up and in. And we do get a quick timeout there for Albany to see if they can try and find a way to try and cut this deficit even more so to make this a lot more manageable to perhaps maybe take the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough. Yeah, it's only a 7-point game, but you really don't feel like they've moved anywhere. It's been 7 points since the half. And we've seen the lead balloon and then shrink back down, but you feel like almost the equilibrium of this game has been a double-digit advantage towards Winnipeg. And I just don't know. What do you think Albany, adjustment-wise, needs to do to get back in this game?
I'm just going to keep it simple. Feed the ball to the good boy. I think that's a pretty good a pretty good analogy considering the past few possessions that we've seen so far. As Lemon goes ahead and rattles it home.
Yeah, even though the good boy is now on the floor, so I'm going to have to ask you again, what does Albany do without the good boy on the floor?
Well, I guess pretty much just try and really rely on your second unit to keep with the pressure on defense, as well as get of course, as I say that, we get a nice block. And really try to take advantage of getting some pretty decent offensive possession to give you what Winnipeg's defense can take you.
Well, I was about to say, that was the other good boy on Albany coming up on defense. Oscar, the St. Bernard, with the big block there. And what a pump fake coming out there.
Yeah, and right now we're seeing it here, an 11-2 run so far for Albany as they now cut the deficit down 2-3, and the crowd is starting to get a little bit more hesitant.
Yeah, I mean, the crowd's starting to get a little quiet, and Fitch Loomis laying it up and in. Like I said, great pump fake there to draw the defense up in the air, and Albany a chance here to tie if they get a three.
Yeah, and right now looking at Loomis trying to zoom his way into the paint, but gets blocked pretty hard there. So no answer for Albany to possibly tie this game. But Timmons tries to answer right back with a quick mid-ranger of his own, as they now cut the deficit to 5. 70-65 so far on Winnipeg's way. Now Albany is trying to slow down the pace just a little bit as Rethal ended up to Johansson. Dishes back over to Lemon. Lemon going for a tough 3, and it hits the side of the rim. No good. And right now, we're seeing Spod handed up to Timmons. Probably looking for a screen, and he does get just that. Got the switch. Trying to find his way into the paint, and gets the foul, and one!
Oof.
And right now, Tim is really being the answer to try and extend this lead even more so, as he does get the old school three-point play.
I mean, obviously the veteran, the one you go to protect a lead, and I mean, he just, I don't want to say he played Hunt like a fool there, but leaning in and getting the contact and still making the shot, that's something you either have natural talent for or the experience, and ooh, they're going to call Yegori on the foul, even though I felt that was pretty clear, and so do the fans. They felt that was clean contact.
Yeah, but, you know, the ref's word is final, but he's only going to make 1 out of the 2. And that's not going to be good. Especially able to get the quick dunk.
The only reason why you say the ref's word is final is because they'd fine you if you said anything against them while you were a player.
I mean, yeah, it is what it is, but Loomis is able to get misses the mid-ranger, as Winnipeg has the opportunity to get into double digits once again, and it's not going to be the case here.
Marcus, you're not a player anymore. The commissioner can't fine you. You can say whatever you want about the refs. It's okay.
I'm not going to do that. I think I still work for a sports organization, and I could probably be fine if I do that. So I'm not going to.
Hugo bans you from the finals. What is he going to do?
I mean, I still would like to actually, you know, I do like my job. I think it's a very nice job to have. I don't think me being suspended and having a fine is a good idea for me to, especially here in the finals with everyone watching.
Well, even though you say that, but I mean, with Winnipeg's answer back, that little run there from Timmins, 11-point game once again with only a minute and change to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, Albany has to find some kind of magic to really kind of get some momentum back on their side, as Rethal is able to get the quick layup. That's the second basket of the night. But right now, Timmins really doing very good. A Spod trying to find his way into the paint, but instead goes for a tough fadeaway, and it rolls on in. So right now, Spod is finding a little bit of fire into his game, as the deficit is now back up to 11.
I'm sorry. Every time you say spot, I swear you're saying spud. And you're saying you're putting him in fire, so now you're baking a potato, it sounds like.
I mean, it's a possibility, as Timmins does get another foul drawn, as he once again gets to go on the line for 2. He is able to make the first one. And now we're starting to see some quick replacements, as Carnell does come on the floor. He was very hot earlier in this game, as Timmins not gonna get the second one, so the deficit is still double digits. So Albany has to find an answer quickly.
You have to wonder how long Albany's going to go at the second unit, though, because possibly final game of the year, you can't afford to let your start. I mean, there's a balance between you want your starters rested so they can play their best, but at the same time, if you leave them out too long, you reduce your chance of being able to make up this deficit. I mean, Winnipeg is going to win the quarter. I mean, they have outscored Albany, and Timmins, gonna make sure it's a 10-point game. Remember, they went to the half down by 7. Now it's down by 10. Winnipeg is still building up a lead every quarter.
Yeah, right now Winnipeg is just really trying to seal the deal here after the end of 3, 80-70.
82-72.
Oh, 82-72. Sorry about that. But it's really becoming abundantly clear that this game is looking that Winnipeg is not gonna let Albany have a chance to try and bring this back. But we've seen some crazy shenanigans before. Literally a game prior. We'll see if they get to right some wrongs.
Well, Albany is the one that's been known to choke. We can't. It would go against everything in their bodies to not give up this game here. But Lemon gonna get the second chance opportunity, and we'll have to keep an eye out because they're gonna start rolling out the plastic sheets for the locker room if it looks like Winnipeg is gonna win, because there's nice champagne showers that always come after a championship.
Yeah, for sure. And right now, Ide looking to get a good screen, is trying to drive into the paint, and Ide's able to get the quick 2 as they got it back up to 10. And really, Albany has to find a way to close off those lanes much quicker than what they have been doing this game.
Well, and that field goal percentage right there tells the whole story. Winnipeg is shooting 60%. Albany's defense has not been as impactful as it has been. Now, Winnipeg's defense hasn't either, as you saw, 50% from Albany. One of their better shooting games, but there they get the big block. Second chance opportunity, no good. But Albany, if they want to win this game, they have to stop Winnipeg's shooting.
Yeah, and that's going to be the big thing. And one of those shooters that's been killing them is Timmins. As Timmins trying to lay it up, and he is able to continue on his. Timmins has really just came off on fire coming from the bench.
And Albany has to call timeout. They're going to bring their starters in. They can't wait any longer. Down by 12 with only 10:32 to go. Oh, this is a tough one for them.
Yeah, it really is, because right now they have to find a way to get some kind of defensive effort, and I'm sure Watterson's going to come back on the court after this timeout, but they're going to have to do more than just that. They have to open lanes and take advantage of them, so that way they'll be able to catch up, because it's really looking like it's going to be tough for Albany to try to dig out this, especially with a crowd like this, how everything is going Winnipeg's way. They need to find some kind of answer to really have a good shot at winning this game and taking it back to.
Well, do you start going for the threes a bit more now, or do you get it? Oh, Narcissa, what is that?
Narcissa, Cassie is just like done and tired of playing with these games.
She just outright climbed him.
Francois.
The poor golden retriever basically got climbed over by the lemur as she elevated to dunk. I think she used Francois a little bit to push off of him to get a little bit more height over the dog.
Yeah, I think she might be hearing what we were saying about Winnipeg and their success, as they're continuing to do so with that one from Eli, but I think she's done playing games at this point. She's not going to retire with a whimper, that's for sure.
Yeah, but can Albany pull it back? Vastenhout step back jumper, no good. Like I said, if I'm Albany, you got 3 timeouts left. I'd say they're probably going to call another one around the 5-minute mark if they are not back within like 3 points by then. And so that's kind of the last checkpoint of, okay, this is our last chance for a big run. And they can't box. If they can't box out Malka, he's just going to put those back all day.
Yeah, right now it just seems that the side advantage for Winnipeg is just proving to be too much for Albany on the defensive side. As we get a quick block there, as Terry does be able to pick it up. Yona hands it over to Kivar, and Kivar goes for a quick mid-ranger, and it is good. So they are able to get some kind of scoring opportunity for that second shot from Kivar.
Well, and that's just great clock awareness. You saw he didn't panic when he got the ball after the block. He pump faked, defense bid on it, and then he took his time and took an open jumper. I mean, that's not something that every player has. The adrenaline, be able to turn down the adrenaline and say, hey, I don't need to rush this shot. I have time. Because, again, the ball was blocked. The shot clock is ticking down at that point. You do not have a lot of time to make any decision. Oh, Kivar, the fadeaway from the free throw line is good.
Yeah, Kivar starting to cook right on up. That's his 11th point of the game. And right now, if Kivar keeps playing like that, and they could possibly get back into this game. It's still a good opportunity for Albany to have a chance here. But, of course, they need to get these defensive stops.
Yeah, well,
and
they can't do that.
They aren't able to do that with the second chance opportunity from Eli. Get basket. Again, that size has really been the Achilles heel for Albany in this game so far.
Yeah, I almost feel like they maybe they should bring out Oscar and Watterson at the same time. I hate to say that maybe Kivar slides over to small forward or maybe even gets a little bit of rest and save him for the last minutes. Is Terry gonna underhand it?
Yeah, Terry that's his 14th point tonight. Terry is probably going to be someone to look into to get Albany back into this game. And now Winnipeg trying to see if they can extend it back to 12 as Baltov trying to drive his way into the paint. But it's a goaltending foul. I don't even think it would matter because it went in regardless.
Does it count twice because of that?
I
You both made it and goaltended it.
So I don't think so. I think because
it only went up by 2, but I feel like he deserves 4 points for that because that is so rare that a goaltended shot also happens to go in.
That's actually kind of funny as Watterson tries to lay it up.
Well, Watterson doesn't think it's funny.
I'm sure he's pretty pissed at this whole. Because not only does he make it regardless, you have a foul team.
He helps him.
That's not something.
Watterson should get the 2 points. Honestly, he tapped it in.
That is fair.
The Winnipeg box score, you're going to feature Watterson at the bottom with 2 points.
Yeah, right now we're going to see a quick, long 3 there, and it was no good.
Yeah, Francois a little quiet tonight, 1 for 5, but he has been getting the assists, 7 total tonight.
Yeah, and Albany still not able to get answer on the other side. And now Malka's going to lay it up and in pretty easy. Right now, that size advantage is becoming really the theme for not really just this game, but this entire series.
Okay, I'm going to say it since you're afraid of the fines. The refs swallowed their whistle there. I feel like either that should have been a block or a charge. The fact that Malkin knocked Kivar to the floor, I can't say was a flop. But one of the two should have probably gone a foul. There's Narcissa, despite the 2 defenders, lays it up and in.
I mean, that's fair, because like I said, I do come. But
you do like your job.
I do like my job.
Oh, now they're going to call the blocking foul. Okay.
So, a quick charge there for now. Carbon is trying to lay it up, and it is good. It's gonna have to say that the crowd and the refs really giving Winnipeg a nice little cushion as they're now back up to 12. There's not a lot of time left, and we get a good shot there as Albany does cut it back down to 10. It's 98-88, but get a stop here as we're only 5 minutes left of this game.
Well, here's the thing. We're right where we were at the start of this quarter, a 10-point game, and it's been 7 minutes. Like, they've made no significant progress. I mean, obviously they make a basket here, but if Winnipeg answers back with one immediately, I think they're starting to get ready for the celebration, honestly.
Yeah, well, you know, anything can really happen, but they need to get a stop right here, right now, and team need to really make some noise. Is Martineau way beyond the arc, trying to get a quick score, and he does just that, wide open for 2, and he misses.
Yeah,
what
but even
huge.
I mean, he could have probably driven to the basket and finished it, but again, Albany can just burn. Winnipeg can just burn. Shocks it. Oh, big block from Malka.
And Cassidy is trying to clean things up, but it's no good once again. And now Winnipeg has a chance to extend the lead back up to 10. As Eve pulls it back, gets the screen, got the lane, tries to lay it up, and it's no good. Now Kivar passing it over to Watterson, who gets the quick dish. Nice pass from Kivar.
Yeah, Watterson, all of his points have come in the second half. Still perfect from the floor, but has picked up his 3rd foul. Again, not a lot of time left. He could easily pick up a 4th and 5th and not have any worries here tonight. Carbon for 3!
What a 3-pointer, and that could be the dagger right there, but there's plenty of time.
I don't know if I'd say plenty of time. That's 3 possessions. Albany can just sit for 72 seconds. They can burn almost a third of the time that remains just by doing nothing. And Albany has to score if they want to do that. See if Winnipeg slows down, but no. Oh, alley-oop attempt blocked.
Really good defensive stop, and they get stolen there. What a steal for Albany. And we get a quick layup, and it is No, it's no good there. Oh, man. My heart's racing as Kevin tries to go it up, and it's good. And this is not looking really good for Albany right now.
Well, you see the fans on their feet. They know it. They're ready to celebrate. 11 points, 2.5 minutes. This is a big mountain to climb, and Narcissa not able to convert there.
Yeah, this is really looking like that this could be the game right here as Kevin tries to lay it up, and it is no good as Watterson does get the bird. I mean, there's still a chance, but they need every shot to hit at this, trying to get the game.
They need every shot in every defensive stop.
And of course, as I say that, Yona does get the quick lay in as they do cut the deficit back down to 9.
Again, 74 seconds. That's how much time. Sorry, 72. That's how much time Winnipeg can burn. And Dragon, what are you doing fading away from there?
That is really just like kind of stroking your ego as we get a quick foul from Coquinos, and that's a reach-in, so they're not on the bonus yet, so they're going to be inbounding it as Cassius trying to look for a way into the paint, but instead gives it to Kivar. Kivar tries to lay it up, and it is no good, but Kivar was able to get the ball back, so they have another opportunity with a full reset, and they're able to take advantage here as Albany does cut the deficit back up to 9.
It's still too much. I mean, what was Winnipeg's comeback? I mean, they obviously did something great last game, but I feel like 90 seconds is not enough time. That's 3 possessions you have to win. You have to score threes without Winnipeg scoring.
Yeah,
and they just did it again.
Just did it, and I think at this point,
spin move.
I think at this point we might as well just like
start wheeling out the champagne for the Winnipeg Voyagers.
Yeah, we're gonna call it the GGs. I'm sure they're gonna bring it out the trophy because Kivar tries to lay it up, and it's good. It's been a very valiant effort for the Alphas trying to get something, but Winnipeg just seems to be too much so far.
I just don't know. I mean, they can hold the ball for 15 seconds. They don't have to pass.
Yeah, they're planning on doing just that. Instead, hands it over to Timmins, and Timmins go for the quick drive, and it's no good, and 0-2 does get forward. So right now, Kivar laying it up. No good, but he does get his own miss and lays it up and in. So it is only down by 7.
That's still 3 possessions. I mean,
it is. Yeah, it is still 3 possessions.
They almost have to foul at this point, even if they get a stop here.
We'll see how it goes.
We don't want to see them go out with a whimper like this, but it's unfortunate. We might have our first 5-game series.
Yeah, first 5-game finals in quite a bit, actually, I think. You get a quick miss there for Winnipeg. Right now, O'Toole going for 3, and it's good. Oh, okay.
Again, 4 points in 10 seconds. That is a lot of time. That's not a lot of time to make up 2 possessions, and that means you have to foul twice.
Yep, I think really the big thing is barring a 3-point and one, or perhaps quick score and then picking it off in the early going. And then, yep, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be really difficult.
They have to steal the ball in the inbound at this point.
Yeah,
if not, they're gonna foul. Okay.
Yep, they do just that.
Quick foul. Oh, but they're not on the bonus yet. So that's another 2 seconds off the clock. Okay, they're down to 7.8, and they're gonna send the second-year player, Baltave, to the line for 2.
He misses the first. Did he make he misses both of them?
The pressure on the second-year player.
That's not something you want to see if you are Winnipeg, but it's fine. Because even though he misses both of them, Albany still needs a 4-point play or essentially another possession for good defensive steal to really kind of get back into this.
So do you go for 2 here and try and intercept the ball, or do you go for 3 and hope to get it down to 1? Because I feel like the field goal percentage tonight is leaning towards they should just try and get 2.
I'd say, yeah, try and get 2 and hopefully get an and 1 opportunity.
Attack the basket.
But
Yeah, that sounds like probably the best of both worlds.
yeah, and we get a quick 3 for O'Toole. O'Toole gets it down. O'Toole with a huge 3. And now they're on the number 1. And the ball almost got intercepted. A quick foul. Oh, that would have been a crazy effort if they were able. But instead, we're going to see Francois going up for 2 to extend the lead to another 3. And he misses the first.
He must have been rattled by the fact that the ball got tipped. They almost had an extra possession there, but he needs the second, and he does get in. Alpha's called their last time out. Terry has hit 2 threes. Do they go back to him for a third?
I think they just go ahead and go for 2. Try and lay it up. Really rely on Watterson to really kind of lay it up and in. I know that O'Toole is really showing why he won the MVP with these last couple of possessions. But if that option is there for them, try and dish it into the paint and go for that quick tip in. That's kind of what you need to rely on to possibly tie this game up and head to overtime. Because now this...
I'm going to disagree. I'm going to go say send Terry for a 3 or Narcissa for 3 and send Watterson and bring in Oscar. Have your 2 biggest furs to crash the board. Get them to shoot as soon as they catch the ball. And then if you miss, you have a slight bit of time to go for a tip back. Try, again, I would go for the win here. I'm greedy, though.
Yeah. I mean, like, right now, Albany is able to kind of quiet down this crowd, and now everyone's very hesitant. It is on
so.
Albany's court.
They were down, like, they were wheeling out the trophy. They were ready to send this game home. Can they close it out, though, with a defensive stop? Terry!
It's a possibility. Terry going for 3, and it's good!
Oh, no! His paws were on the line!
Oh, my goodness! You can clearly see he was upset right there. And I'm pretty sure he's going to the refs right now. Talk to them about this. It doesn't seem like they're budging one bit. They're saying that his paws were on the line. So now we have a tie game. Winnipeg does get the timeout. And, oh, my
They have time
Lord.
for a quick shot. They could... Oh, Winnipeg. Are you collapsing right now? Can you afford... You just did this to Albany last game.
Dude, this is literally what, like, they were up by 10 this game. It's like a role reversal.
They were up by 3 possessions with less than a minute.
This is, oh my goodness.
I mean, they could shut us up here, and if they can make a basket on this inbound, and who do you go to here? It has to be Eves. It has to be. That's also a valid play. But no, they're going to have him bounce the ball, and they want their best shooters on the floor.
Carbonu going for the mid-ranger, and it's no good. We are going to overtime here in Game 5. We're not done yet, ladies and gentlemen, because we got one more to go.
Oh, my. If you're Winnipeg, how do you mentally reset? How do you reset after being up by 3 possessions with 40-some seconds left to go? And you find yourself here in overtime?
If anything, really rely on the crowd on this one to give you the energy you need, and that's not the way you want to start this. As Kvar slams it down, they take the first lead since, I believe, the second quarter of this game.
I mean, it's a lead, which is not something I thought I could say with Albany. Like I said, I don't think they've had a lead since the first quarter.
Yeah, it's been a very long time since I've seen Albany take this lead. Winnipeg ties it right back up from Baltimore. It gets 12 points.
Yeah, and I want to keep an eye on him because you have to imagine him missing those 2 free throws. Obviously, Martineau also missed one. And Narcissa for 3.
And right now, Narcissa's waking up at just the right time with that 3, and the crowd is dead silent. This is not looking good if you are a Voyager fan. But right now, Baltiv.
They have 4 minutes. They have time, but that is not how.
Yeah, right now, look at the Voyagers that's looking pretty flustered as Kvar tries to lay it, and all the momentum has just swished on a dime.
This is the explosive offense I've been talking about all series from the Alphas. They have scored almost 20 points in the last 2 minutes of play, it feels like.
Yeah,
Seriously.
right. And right now, Coquino's going for that mid-ranger, and it is good. So they do cut the deficit to 1 possession. And look, Coquino's is just having a field day right now against Watterson, 24 compared to 8 points. So now the crowd's yelling defense. Yona handed up to Watterson. And right now, Yona trying to look for a screen, tries to get by his defender, and he is able to do just that as he gets a quick layup as they're now back up to 5. So far, Kevin's trying to go up, but he gets fouled by Watterson. So he'll go on the line for 2, and he does make the first one.
4th foul for Watterson. Assuming we don't go to double overtime, I wouldn't be concerned. He's not really in foul trouble. If he picks up his 5th here shortly, I could see maybe a little concern, but this is the first time really seeing a player even get up to that many of fouls at this point. Tool is going to continue his hot streak. He does.
The MVP is reigning tonight.
I mean, how many points has he put up in the last? He's made 4 for 4, basically. He is up 11 points in his last 4 shots.
Yeah, right now, Francois hands it over to Baltev. Baltev getting the quick screen, going for that long 2, and he just flat out air balls it. And we're getting a quick jump ball. And so this is going to look pretty interesting as we'll see if this stays over on Winnipeg's side. And it is to be the case as Baltev hands it over to Martineau. They need to find a basket here if they really want to get a chance to possibly tie this game right back up. But so far, they're going to take their time with it. Calvin, as Coquino gets the rock, trying to find a way to get into the paint, and it is no good as Kivar gets the rebound.
Yeah, now you're starting to feel the pressure on the other end. They've given up such a big lead, and now Albany's starting to build one themselves. And we've seen Albany lose a lead quickly, and Terry,
Now
don't do this! He does!
Oh, no! Oh, my goodness. And just like that, out of freaking blue, Albany is up by 9. We have completely flipped the script as Martineau tries to go 3, and it hits the side of the rim, and it's starting to look like that we might go back to
at this point. I'd agree.
Game.
I mean, Hulk Terry absolutely came out here in the final couple minutes of this game, and he is smashing the Winnipeg Voyagers' hopes and dreams of taking home a championship in front of their crowd. As even Kivar gonna dunk or jump up over the defender, and right there, 125 to 114 with a minute and change.
I think that with this one, I don't think we're.
We just saw a collapse in under 60 seconds. You can't say we can't do it again.
It's a possibility, but like with how the momentum is going, Malcolm goes jumper, no good, and Watterson does get the board. So look at that, no points the last 2 minutes, and if Albany makes a shot here, I think it's pretty safe to say that it could be game, as they do try to milk as much of the clock as possible.
I mean,
getting a basket up.
It's going to be a long trip. Oh, Narkissa.
Cassius is able to get the 3, and that is the dagger by 14. The crowd is, it's now just dead silent from that one. And
they were down by 7 with 40-some seconds left to go. How are they up by 14 in under... like I said, the crowd is quiet. There is nothing for them to celebrate here, but...
Yeah,
Winnipeg is not done. They are still up 3-2 in the series.
Yeah, and it just kind of sucks because I can see the trophy just rolling back into the locker room as the game winds down. We end this off with Albany able to take Game 5. We are heading back over in New York as the Alphas is able to take a game on the road 3-2.
Yeah, they better hurry and take down all those protective covers they put up over the lockers, because there's gonna be some very angry Voyagers players heading back to the locker room in a very short time. They're not gonna stick around this court for long after they congratulate the other team and head in to the tunnel. And oh my, and a great game from Winnipeg. I can't really fault them. They shot so well at just the free throws. Baltave, those two free throws are possibly going to haunt him if Albany is able to run it back to 7, because he had a chance to put it out there, and obviously Martinu also missing that free throw could have put them up by 3 and forced Terry to actually take a 3-pointer. But like I said, we'll look at the Albany stats shortly and definitely highlight them. And I think Terry put up over half of his points in a very short amount of time.
It's like what I said during the game. Just keep it simple. Give the ball to
The
good
good boy.
boy, and he will deliver.
You know, so that only works when the good boy's on the floor. And apparently they learned that putting the good boy on the floor is good. So there we have it. Terry O'Toole, 11 for 12, 6 for 6 from beyond the
Oh my
arc. And
goodness.
most of those coming there at the end of the game. I mean, I, I don't care who had the best performance tonight. Terry should win the MVP for tonight's game or player of the game, because uh, this game would have been Winnipeg without him putting up that score. And again, the entire starting lineup, great game. Cassius, the worst shooter of the bunch at 10 for 24, but still one of her best games tonight and hitting those threes, which is going to be key going back to Albany if she can keep that up.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's this. I think with that, you know that you still have a good shot. You can't, of course, you can't celebrate. It's gonna be next game up because now the ball is in their court to see if they can take it to game 7 because with an effort that Terry has, I'm sure that that's going to continue on as we head back to Albany. And man, I'm just so lost for words. This happened twice in a row.
On the
It seems
road,
like it seems like it's an anything you can do I can do better moment.
yeah, well, again, the fact that this happened twice in a row on the road, this was not, the home team rallying. This was the away team coming back and taking over. And I will say for Albany, the biggest concern they have not won a game in Albany against Winnipeg this series. Winnipeg has
Yeah,
won
that
twice against them.
yeah, and that's the craziest thing about this because if you told me that it was like a 3-2 series, then it'd be like, okay, I could possibly see them splitting both and then Winnipeg taking the lead at home. But no, this is the, the way how this is set up. It's like both teams are just really honing in their power for the away games the most. And it really kind of just shows that this is probably one of the more obscure finals that you would think of when we talk about this in history.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that 5 of the first 6 games have been away wins, and two teams having a arguably game-winning lead in the final minutes evaporate back to back. Like I said, that is not a normal uh, showing. We expect one team to dominate, a nice battle at home, home fans being the deciding factor and helping push their teams to victory. But it has not been that at all. And like I said, this game, the fact that Albany put up 20 points in overtime, that
Hmm.
they had 5 minutes. They put up 20
Yeah,
points in 5 minutes. They could not keep that pace any other time this game, but they absolutely hit another gear in that
yeah,
final 5 minutes.
for sure. They turned it on. I mean, game 4, it was all about Eve and how he was able to drain those threes. For game 5, it was Terry's night, and he just showed why he has won the most valuable player of the FBA. And you have to really give huge credit to him and being finally able to come alive this game. Want to see from the series going forward because now things are going to get very intriguing. Balls on Albany's court, they have the opportunity to possibly do the unthinkable and come down from 3-1 deficit and become champs once again. And it's just it's kind of crazy to say that anything can happen, but anything if these past 2 games prove anything is that anything can literally happen on. So I'm very excited to see what happens 6.
I am too. I mean, we'll be traveling to Albany next. I've been Ryan Eastman. That was Marcus Baylor. Any final thoughts before we head off for the night?
I just want to say I've been good. I did nothing about the ref. Please don't find me.
Okay, you just hold me up in front of the commissioner as the sacrificial
Yes,
peacock.
of course, always. Don't worry, it's okay. I can I can help out if there's any kind of situation. But yeah, it's been fun.
See y'all next time. This has been a wonderful sports day, and looking forward to the next game. Have a good night.